What if I told you that pretty much everything you've been taught about getting rich is wrong? Seriously. What if the idea that you need to work harder, save every last penny, or even get that high-paying dream job? What if all of it completely misses the point? The truly wealthy, the people who build fortunes that last for generations, know one simple thing that the rest of us don't. And no, it's not a hot stock tip. It's not some secret algorithm. And it's definitely not about being born with a silver spoon in your mouth. It's a fundamental shift in your thinking, a single, learnable mindset about how money, time, and opportunity really work. And once you get this one shift, you will never see a dollar the same way again. You won't see your job the same way. You won't even see your time the same way. Stick with me, because what I'm about to break down is the blueprint for building wealth. And it's a blueprint that anyone can learn to read. I am Lexa Sterling. I am the AI avatar of Dr. Shama Salaman. Every script is personally written and meticulously reviewed by Dr. Salaman to ensure accuracy. If you want to break free from financial stress and finally understand how money really works, smash that subscribe button right now, because this channel is about to change your life. Let's dive in. Sound familiar? You wake up early, you drag yourself through a commute, you work your tail off, not just for 8 hours, but you take on the extra projects, you answer the late night emails, you give it your all, you get that paycheck, and for a split second, you can finally breathe. But then life happens. The rent or mortgage payment is due, the car makes a funny noise that's going to cost a fortune. The credit card bills from just living your life roll in, you pay everybody else first, and then you look at what's left. You try to stash a little bit away, but before you know it, the account is creeping back towards zero, and the whole cycle starts all over again. You're running faster and faster on a financial treadmill, but the scenery never ever changes. You feel stuck. Look, that feeling isn't a personal failure. It's not because you're lazy or not smart enough. It's because you're playing a game with rules that are designed to keep you running in place. That's the reality of the employee-consumer mindset. It's a mindset built on scarcity, the idea that you have to trade your time for money. Most of us were trained to be great employees. Show up, do the work, get paid for your time. The problem? Your time is finite. There are only 24 hours in a day. You can only sell so many of them before you burn out or break down. When you trade time for money, you put a hard cap on your earning potential. The second you stop working, the money stops coming in. That's the trap. The real trap isn't just being in debt. The trap is believing that working for money is the only way to get ahead. That path doesn't lead to freedom. It leads to burnout. Sure, you can get a 10% raise, but then your taxes go up. You can jump to a higher paying job, but your lifestyle inflates to eat up the difference. You're still on the same treadmill, just at a slightly faster speed. The wealthy know this model is broken. They figured out that as long as your income is tied directly to your effort, you're basically a slave to your own time. So they don't play that game. They change the game completely. They make one huge shift in their thinking that lets them step off the treadmill for good. So what is it? What's this big secret? The one thing the rich know that completely separates them from everyone else is this. You don't get rich by working for your money. You get rich by having your money work for you. Read that again. The main focus of the wealthy isn't their paycheck. Their main focus is their asset column. This is the game-changing shift. It's going from a consumer mindset to an owner mindset. Let me give you an analogy. Think of every single dollar you have as an employee. An amazing loyal employee who will work for you 24/7, never complains, and never asks for a day off. The person with a poor mindset gets their paycheck and sees it as money to be spent. They take their hard-earned dollar employees and immediately send them out to buy things. A new phone, a fancy dinner, a car payment. These are liabilities, things that take money out of your pocket. Once that dollar is gone, it's gone forever. That little employee has been fired and will never work for you again. The person with a rich mindset gets their paycheck and sees a fresh batch of potential employees. Before they even think about spending, they ask, how many of these dollars can I put to work? They take a big chunk of their income and they don't spend it. They invest it. They hire their money by putting it into assets. So what's an asset? An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket, ideally without you having to do much work. It could be a piece of real estate that generates rent. It could be stocks that pay you dividends. It could be a piece of a business that kicks off profits. It could even be a digital course that sells while you're sleeping. This is the engine of wealth. While one person is constantly trading their limited time for money to spend, the rich person is using their money to buy back their time. Every asset they get is another employee working for them, generating more income. And that new income isn't for spending, it's for hiring even more dollar employees. It's for buying more assets. This creates a powerful upward spiral. Income buys assets. Assets generate more income. That income buys even more assets. That's the magic of compounding, not just on your money, but on your entire financial life. It's not about skipping your morning coffee, it's about understanding where your money is going. The poor and middle class are focused on the income from their job. The rich are obsessed with their balance sheet, the collection of assets they own. They know their salary won't make them free, but their assets will. This totally changes how the wealthy see their most valuable resource, time. For most people, time is something to be sold. We even talk about it like a commodity. Time is money. What's your hourly rate? We're trading hours of our life for a paycheck. But like we said, that's a losing game because you'll always run out of time to sell. The wealthy see time completely differently. For them, time isn't something to be sold. It's something to be invested. It's the one thing they can never get back. And their main goal is to use it to create more freedom, not to sell it for a wage. How do they pull this off? They invest their time in things that give them leverage. Leverage is the magic word here. It's how you get a massive return on your efforts. The wealthy use their time to build or find things that can work without them. They invest time in learning. While others might spend their evenings scrolling or watching Netflix, the wealthy invest that time in reading books, taking courses, and studying how money actually works. They know financial education isn't a one-time thing, it's a lifelong pursuit. The knowledge they get lets them spot opportunities and avoid traps that others never see. That knowledge has leverage. One good idea can pay you for years. They invest time in building systems. An entrepreneur doesn't build a business just to give themselves a job. They build it to create a system, a mix of people, processes, and technology that runs and makes money, whether they show up or not. The time spent building that system is leveraged because once it's up and running, it keeps producing value. They invest time in building relationships. They don't just network to collect contacts. They build real, long-term relationships built on trust and mutual value. A strong network provides incredible leverage, bringing opportunities, insights, and partnerships they'd never find alone. The ultimate goal for a wealthy person is to decouple their income from their time. They're always asking, how can I make money while I'm not physically there? They use their active income as seed money to buy assets that generate passive income. And that passive income is what buys back their time, giving them the freedom to wake up and own their day. That's true wealth. It isn't a number in a bank account. It's having complete control over your life because your assets are doing the heavy lifting for you. Just like their view of time, the wealthy have a totally different relationship with money itself. For the person with a poor mindset, money is for one thing, consumption. It's a tool to buy things, immediate gratification, a sense of status. Money is the end goal. You work to get it so you can spend it. In this world, all debt is seen as a scary trap to be avoided at all costs. And to be fair, for things like credit cards and car loans, that's absolutely true. But this fear makes them miss the other side of the coin. For the person with a rich mindset, money isn't for consumption, it's a tool for creation. Every dollar is a seed. Every dollar is a worker you can send out to build your financial empire. Their first question isn't, what can I buy? But how can this money make more money? This is why they prioritize investing over spending. They pay themselves first, not by putting cash in a savings account where it gets eaten by inflation, but by moving it straight into their asset column. Money sitting still is a wasted opportunity. And this brings us to one of the biggest secrets of all, debt. The poor and middle class are taught that all debt is bad, but the wealthy know there are two kinds of debt, bad debt and good debt. Bad debt is when you borrow money to buy stuff that goes down in value or just disappears. A loan for a fancy car, credit card debt from a vacation, financing a new 70-inch TV, that's all bad debt. You're paying a premium for something that's losing money. Good debt, on the other hand, is when you borrow money to buy an asset that generates more money than the cost of the debt. The rich use this kind of leverage to hit fast forward on their wealth. For example, they'll get a mortgage to buy a rental property. If the rent they collect pays for the mortgage, taxes, insurance, and still leaves a profit, they've just used the bank's money to buy an income-producing machine. They might only put down 20%, but they control 100% of the asset and its income. That is incredible leverage. They do the same thing in business, taking out loans to buy equipment that will generate way more revenue than the interest on the loan. They turn the banking system into a partner. By understanding the difference between good and bad debt, they make the system work for them. Let me make this real with a quick story of two friends, Mark and David. They're both 30, make the exact same salary, and work just as hard. Mark follows the script we're all taught. He gets his paycheck, and his first thought is, what can I afford? He buys a brand new car with a big monthly payment because, hey, he deserves it. He rents a cool apartment in a trendy neighborhood. He loves going out for nice dinners and taking vacations, often on his credit card. Whatever is left over at the end of the month, he tries to save. On the outside, Mark looks like he's crushing it. He has the appearance of wealth, but in reality, his income flows in and flows right back out to pay for his liabilities. He's stuck on the treadmill. David, however, made the mindset shift. When he gets his paycheck, his first thought is that how much of this can I put to work? He drives a reliable used car he paid for in cash. He lives in a more modest apartment with lower rent. He still has fun, but he puts his financial future first. He takes a huge chunk of his income, let's say 30%, and funnels it straight into buying assets. He spends a year saving like a madman for a down payment. Then he takes that money, adds a loan from the bank, good debt, and buys a small duplex. He lives in one half and rents out the other. The rent from his tenant covers almost his entire mortgage. He's basically eliminated his own housing cost, freeing up a massive part of his paycheck. He takes that new cash flow, adds it to his savings from his job, and a few years later, he buys another rental property. Now he has two assets working for him, pumping out passive income every single month. Now, let's fast forward 10 years. Mark is 40. He's probably got a better salary, but he also has a newer car payment, a bigger apartment, and more expensive tastes. He's still working just as hard, still trading time for money, and still has that low-level anxiety that if his job disappears, everything will fall apart. He's still on the treadmill. David is also 40. His first two properties are now worth more, and he's been able to increase the rent over the years. He used the cash flow and equity to buy several more properties. His passive income from real estate is now more than his salary from his job. He doesn't have to work anymore. Work is now a choice, not a prison. He stepped off the treadmill. He's financially free, not because he was lucky, but because he spent a decade focused on one thing, building his asset column. He chose the owner mindset. If this shift from consumer to owner is starting to click for you, and you want to learn the specific habits the wealthy use every day to build these income systems, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. I drop videos every single week breaking down these exact strategies to help you build your own path to freedom. And drop me a comment below. What is the very first money employee you are going to hire? Is it going to be a dividend stock, a side hustle, or saving for that first asset? I really want to hear your plan. The one thing isn't some secret password or a magic trick. It's a simple, powerful shift in how you see the world. It's the decision to stop being just a consumer and start becoming an owner. It's the choice to stop trading away your finite time for money and to start building and buying assets that make money for you. This mindset is the foundation of all lasting wealth. And the best part is you're not born with it. It's a skill you can learn and a choice you can make starting right now. The path to wealth is paved with financial education, discipline, and the guts to play the long game. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and answer this question. What's one financial habit you're going to change after watching this video? I read every single comment, and I want to know what you're going to do differently. And if this video opened your eyes to how wealth really works, do me a favor, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Send it to a friend, a family member, someone who's struggling financially. This information could literally change their life. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. We're building something special here, a community of people who are done being broke and ready to build real wealth. Remember, you're not broke because you don't make enough money. You're broke because you don't think like someone who builds wealth. Change your mind, change your money, change your life. I'm Lexa Sterling. I am the AI avatar of Dr. Shama Salaman. This content is for educational purposes only. I am not a licensed financial advisor, accountant, or lawyer. All information represents my personal experience and research. Always consult qualified professionals before making financial decisions. Remember, you can't build wealth by trading time for money forever. You build wealth by making money work for you. I'll see you in the next one.